Going to open number 11. So here we go. Let me see if I can flip over Ellen Page's cards here for you. That should do the trick here coming up. And Debra's Mage that we were just talking about looks like the Freeze Mage. Similar to Whiskey Badgers that we saw earlier. See if he can have a little bit better luck than Whiskey Badger did in the last round. That was unfortunate for him. Not able to squeak out a win there at the end. Ellen Page, though, the Paladin we saw earlier. This is the Secret Paladin, so we'll see what it's got in store for us. Not able to trade in very cleanly with this Acolyte of Pain. Going to give it 2 draws, but still get some decent value trades with the weapon and the Shielded Minibot, so that seems pretty good for him. Still able to maintain the pressure on the board for a decent amount. This is one turn before the Frost Nova Doomsayer is able to come out, so you really want to flood the board as much as you can, kind of clear up your opponent's board, and just push as much to the face before these clears can come down and kind of punish you for flooding the board just a tad. He's also going to want to keep that Haunted Creeper alive as best he can, because those are hit resistant to the AoEs that we're talking about. So if Debra does have some of those AoEs, then he's going to want to make sure that Haunted Creeper is not popped beforehand, so that he has as much pressure on the board after the AoE clear goes off, for obvious reasons. So there's Debra drawing into the Blizzard. Can't play it now, but next turn that could come out. That leaves him free to clean up some of this board. He could use a Frostbolt if he wants to pop the Shredder and hope that whatever comes out dies to the Blizzard, or at the very least it would do damage to whatever comes out. The Blizzard will do damage to that minion, so he opts to just draw a card instead. Now Ellen Page flooding the board a little bit more, but not really playing into the Blizzard too heavily. The 1/1s are very expendable, and he is able to buff up the Secret Keeper so that it does not die to the Blizzard. So it may look like a decent Blizzard on the surface because of the number of minions. It really doesn't do a whole lot, so Debra appears to feel the same way. He may take the slow play here with the Frostbolt, but he does have a lot of burn in hand with double Frostbolt, Fireball, Pyroblast, so he may decide to save that for the face damage. So that's what he was debating on, but the Paladin is still at 26 health, so he felt it was better to use the Frostbolt there, but the Redemption goes off that we saw played last turn, so that going off on a Paladin Shredder is not the best case scenario. But Ellen Page does have a full board now, thanks to that Redemption. So unable to play any minions from hand or even hero power. Just had to play the secret. And I missed the secret. You guys probably saw it. Competitive Spirit. So that's going to get a lot of value. But the Doomsayer are going to put a quick stop to all of that, because I don't see a way for Ellen Page to deal with this, with the entire board being frozen and full. So we talked about the downside of filling up your board. Not that Ellen Page had an answer for it anyway, so not a huge deal that the board was flooded there, because even if it's frozen, the Keeper of Oldemon would not have been enough to prevent the Doomsayer from going off. So didn't have a clear anyway, so not a huge deal that it was played into. And now Debra in a much more comfortable position with all of that nonsense being cleared up on Ellen Page's side. Just feels very safe here to do a lot of damage to the face. If he can survive 2 turns, which undoubtedly he can, especially with the secret up, which I believe was a ice block. Yes, it is. So Rack a good pickup here, but still not going to be enough damage to kill Debra in time. So all he has to do is stall out until turn 10 and then use that Pyroblast to the face. He was debating on the Blizzard just to slow it down a little bit, because he didn't really need the Emperor Thorazin proc, but I I guess he figures if Ellen Page is able to heal somehow, then he might as well kind of play to the potential that Pyroblast may not kill his opponent next turn, but we know that is going to be the case, and as such, Tibra will go up in the series 1-0 with that Pyroblast, which is kind of a tech card, not always ran in Freeze Mages. It's getting a little bit of popularity more recently, as I've kind of seen, but it kind of fell out of favor there for a little bit, but Tibra's running it, so he will take game 1 with the Freeze Mage to go up 1-0 over the series. So not to sound like a broken record, but his mage is locked out for the